Hey guys, welcome to StuTube. It is October 22nd, and today I'm going to be taking another look at the Bitcoin trend as a whole. As well, I'm going to really zoom into things and explain all my trend lines here. And as well, I'm going to be talking about that Ethereum trade that I took at the end of the last video there, and why I took profits and that sort of stuff, guys. So if you guys think that sounds interesting, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and with that, let's get it. Alright, as always guys, starting on the weekly chart here, and you can see that this red box that I've outlined in several videos, not to mention also being the high here on this weekly pattern here, we are breaking into the box as well as creating a higher high here if we can close this candle up here without getting rejected too hard. So as a whole, that is looking absolutely beautiful to me, guys. And again, we do have this 21-week moving average below us that will most likely act as support if we do come in contact with it again. Of course, we'll have to see. But everything as a whole looks very bullish to me, you guys. If I zoom in here to my daily chart, you'll see that we're still playing out beautifully in this green channel that I've been pointing out for the last couple videos. Everything looks on track to me, you guys. You know that while we were just above this horizontal green line here, I had pointed out that this channel was holding as support, and I fully expected us to test upwards towards the top of the channel again. And not only that, guys, but I had also mentioned that it would make a lot of sense to kind of test this area where the green channel and the red box meet, as well as that would be our 14K high from the high way back here from last June or whenever that was. So everything to me kind of looks like we're on our way to test the top of that channel again. It would make a lot of sense to get rejected hard there, because I had even pointed out that if we do test that level, I wouldn't be surprised if it's in the next few days, and that's just because of the interaction between the two. I could be off a little bit, so even if it's in the next few days, it would make a lot of sense to be testing the top of this channel. We'll have to see if that happens. These daily candles can be pretty big, and they can be big in both directions. But the fact that we got a daily close above this high over here at about 12.5K, and then the one concerning thing to me is this daily candle, the one that we just closed, never did eclipse this wick here. So to me it kind of looks like the bulls might be having a little bit of a hard time, but I wouldn't be all that concerned, because the fact is we did hold this 12.5K. We never did drop it. If we do, I'll probably be looking to close the rest of my 10x long that I'm going to talk about later here. But yeah, on the daily trend here, same thing. We got this bullish cross on our moving averages. Everything looks good to me, guys. I would not be surprised to test the top of this channel relatively soon if we actually get candle body closes above that 14K and we are eclipsing our weekly resistance and creating some serious higher highs after breaking out of this massive triangle pattern. And you guys, I preach it all the time, triangles and wedges are my favorite pattern. Even on the 15-minute chart, I love playing them. And the fact that this is a weekly pattern that took 3 years to coil up, you guys, I'm expecting a massive move from it. And you guys can watch some of my previous videos of the ridiculous price targets I have, but the technicals are there to support those theories. And this pattern right here is a huge indication, in my opinion, of where this market is headed. So right now I don't have a lot of interest in shorting the market. I'm mostly just looking to really snipe long after long. I've been playing this market very aggressive lately. I've been in trades every single day. Some of them I've been in for a few days, but I've had triple digits on I think more than 5 trades this week, so it's been absolutely great. And that's just because I have a very good idea of where this market is headed this last little bit. Ever since we broke this triangle, I've been extremely bullish, and it's been working in my favor, you guys. With that being said, I'm going to hop over to the 15-minute chart and really zoom into things on Bitcoin here. All right, you guys know that I was in a long position. It was a 25x from what was it, 11,270, and I closed the remaining quarter at what was it, 12,444. I wanted to be just shy of that 12.5k mark. Guys, that was like a 270% profit there. Not on the whole position, that's just the last quarter, right? I was taking profits along the way, so consider that. Also, that Ethereum trade in my last video, I'm going to talk about that later. I'm getting off topic here. Let's just take a look at my Bitcoin lines here. You can see here this red line I have mapped out. It was a bit of an uptrend here, and you can see that we did actually break below it. So that's one bearish point right now, as well as this double top that we could potentially be seeing here along this yellow line here. But one thing I want to bring to your attention is if we look at the old resistance of this little bit of a channel of these higher highs, and then even here getting rejected and then flipping it to a support flip instead, to me that's an important trend line, you guys. And you can see here we even tested it perfectly once again. And right now we're actually testing it here. So I might even eat my words by the end of this video. We'll see if this line holds. But to me this looks like a very good entry, and then a stop loss that could be very tight if you're just looking for some sort of a snipe. But to me, this green line looks like it has potential to be a bit of support now. If not, I do have this lower green trend line here, you guys, that I would expect to come as some sort of a support, especially if it is down lower around that 12.5k, right? Because to me, that is also going to be an important support line. It would not surprise me too much to test this line again, because again that was resistance. It would make a lot of sense to get that support flip. You can see here we couldn't even get low enough to test it, so maybe that's saying that the bulls are really ready to step in and they don't want to wait for resistance to turn into support, because they really just want it. They're FOMOing in potentially. Of course, guys, everything I'm saying is not financial advice. Always do your own research. I'm just looking at potential trade setups and that sort of stuff. I am already in that long that I'm on my Bybit account. It's 10x, and it is from what is it, 11,960, I believe was my entry point. And today I was at somewhere around 93% profit. I still have half that position open, and that my stop loss is just below the 12.5k region. I actually went just below 12.4 just to give it some breathing room, and I want to make sure I lock in profits. But the reason I have such a loose stop loss right now is on that position is because I would love to just leave it open for a long time here if we are as bullish as I think we might be. If we can hold either this green trend line or this purple trend line, I want to stay in that position because I think there's potential to get some ridiculous percentage gains on that. So I'm leaving that one open. And then I have my BitMEX account that I can do shorter term, higher leverage trades or whatever. I have quite a few accounts, and it's nice to be able to have multiple trades at once without ruining your entry points and that sort of stuff, guys. Anyways, let's hop over to my Ethereum chart. All right, guys, my Ethereum trade here. You know, if you watched my last video, if you haven't, you should, but I totally called out this exact entry for a long position. And my reasoning for this was if sorry about that. If I turn on my indicators here, I mentioned that I had a bit of a trifecta going on here. I had a double bottom range here on the 15-minute chart, had a bullish RSI divergence down here, and as well I had this bullish pivot point on my momentum indicator, and that's exactly what led me to take that 270% Bitcoin trade. So I did it again on Ethereum. I mentioned this red resistance line in the video, and when I was looking for a close above it, well, I entered along down here. I think it was 368 or something like that. But at 25x, I just finished closing the rest of my position this morning. Again, that was just my remaining last quarter. I took profits along the way. I think my profit points were something like 60%, 120%, 195%, and then the last one this morning was 305%, guys. That is about a day and a half. That was an absolute beautiful swing. And you can see here I took my profits, not quite calling the top, but I was looking at this being, sorry, something in my throat here, but saw this bit of a rising wedge potentially forming. And as well, you know how I like these orange lines, I do my Fibonacci pulls. If I go to my 4-hour chart, so that's a much larger time frame than the 15-minute I'm normally looking to play. But if I do a Fibonacci pull top to bottom of this swing, you can see here that that orange line is that famous 618 rejection point that I look for, and you can see that's exactly what's happening here. So I wanted to take profits on the rest of that trade, you guys. That, and I didn't need to get greedy, because you know what, 300% in less than 2 days is more than enough. You know, you never get those returns in a lifetime from a bank, and just having your money sitting there, and it won't even beat the rate of inflation. So these are ridiculous gains, and of course not being not going all in or anything like that. And I am still playing with small numbers, you guys. I'm not making tens of thousands of dollars or millions of dollars, or screw you money as I call it. This is I take risk management very serious. I don't put a ton of money on these trades. I want to be able to be wrong several times. I don't want to just lose once or twice and then ruin my trading career, right? So always consider that. Again, none of this is financial advice, only entertainment purposes. And I'll never tell you what to do with your hard-earned money. But anyways, guys, that's kind of all I wanted to go over in the charts. With Ethereum right now, I wouldn't be surprised to see this green line hold as support, if we even get back down to that. But ideally, I would like to see us get back above this orange line here, and potentially even start using it as support on that 618 line, and do some sort of a bull flag from there. Would be absolutely great to see and great to play. So other than that, guys, right now kind of watching Bitcoin to see if we get some sort of an ascending triangle here. That would be absolutely beautiful, and I think we would see a very explosive move if we do get a third touch point, as well as a confirmed breakout at that point. Hold resist as support. I think we could be testing that $14,000 level if that does happen. One thing I want to talk to you guys about, I know I had mentioned it yesterday, is how bearish a lot of people are in social media, mostly in the comments section. A lot of the YouTubers right now are very bullish, and a lot of the people commenting on their stuff are still very bearish about needing to fill that CME futures gap. You guys, if you are one of those people, just be willing to change your opinion with what the charts give you, because a CME futures gap does not have to play out perfectly. Bull flags don't have to play out perfectly. Nothing in technicals has to play out perfectly. What you do is you take the technicals laid out before you, and you weigh out your odds and whether it's a good trade setup or not. And to talk about that CME futures gap and be so bearish just because of that, you're ignoring every other bullish indication, you guys. We're testing up into this box, looking at flirting with new higher highs. If we get a new higher high on this sort of a macro scale, you guys, after breaking out of a 3-year triangle pattern, you know that I love triangle patterns. Even on the 15-minute, they're my favorite pattern. We even got our resist to support flip of that triangle. Right now, if we can close this weekly candle above the 12.5, we have a higher high than this. We got this bullish cross of the moving averages above the bigger moving average. I mean, guys, there is so many. We got huge players getting into the game. Grayscale now owns $7 billion worth of crypto. That MicroStrategy company, they put 450 million in. Twitter put 50, or the CEO Jack, whatever his name, Dorsey, 50 million. And so many of these very large people who are saying that they're buying every little dip that they can. And are you honestly going to tell me that you have a better financial head on your shoulders than these people who are million and billionaires, you guys. When you add all the technicals and the fundamentals up right now, everything is so bullish, but you're going to put your entire trading basis, your entire bias off this gap that hasn't quite perfectly filled, but only half filled, you guys. I just don't know. Sorry to rant, but I know I even posted a bit of a Twitter here. If you're bearish on crypto because of the one CME gap, you don't understand TA. Don't let the entire trading bias be directed by a single theory while ignoring the entire market structure. You're ignoring the very people now who you first even heard about this theory from. That's so important, you guys. These people that you're arguing with on Twitter about the theories you learned from them, I think they understand the technicals and the fundamentals about this a little better, and there's a reason why they're in this space and why they've done so well in this space, you guys. So don't let one thing ruin your entire view on a market. Yeah, anyways, guys, I have ranted long enough, but I had to get that off my chest because I think a lot of people are missing out on a lot of opportunities lately just because of something that they heard once. And yes, in theory, it does happen most of the time, but it just doesn't have to. That's the one point I want to drive home. It doesn't have to. Okay, guys, with that, again, sorry for the rant, but I had to add that at the end of the technicals. If you did like this video, give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Let me know what you thought in the comments. I'll try to interact with every comment I get. Shouldn't be hard because I don't have a huge audience or anything. But thank you guys for tuning in. With that, stay safe, my friends. Good luck out there. Peace.